Rural Lifestyle, brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Brian. What's going on?
It is summertime.
Really? I didn't notice. You know, it's sun beating down on us, sweating out here, almost 100 degrees.
Yes.
Summer's here.
Let's talk about stress versus dead.
Okay.
What is the difference between a stress yard and one that's potentially
dead?
Not going to make it.
Crispy's a good indicator.
Okay.
But not crispy at the top, crispy at the base. A lot of times these plants will dry out completely. When the weather's this hot, they can't make food with their leaves, so they're useless pretty much to the plant. And if there isn't enough water moving through it, it's not using it to cool it, so they just burn. And this, you'll see a real chalky appearance, and it almost looks like there's like the plant's dusty, and it doesn't look as full and outright. It just kind of looks deflated and chalky, and that's a good sign of just drought stress. And when you go to the base of the plant, you'll actually be able to kind of strip that away right at the surface, and you'll see where the crown of the plant is. And if you can push it and it's still white and still kind of somewhat moist, even though all this is going on, it's still alive. If it's crispy, you grab it, it just crumbles in your hand and pulls right up, you've probably lost that stand. It's usually not just to drought or heat. It's usually a combination of either like grubs or disease have kind of weaken the stand, and then it kind of finally takes it out.
What about other weeds? Broadleaf weeds.
We'll get it out, yeah, broadleaf weeds.
I mean, will that also stress them out so much?
What they do is compete for resources, so they're stealing the water. And the water is an important part of it, but if it's, broadleaf here and there, it's not detrimental. They're suffering too. I mean, this is hot regardless of what kind of plant you are, except for they don't have to worry about tomorrow usually. Most of these weeds are annuals. They're gonna have their life cycle completed, and they're not worried about tomorrow, so they're gonna use those resources. Your turf is not like that. It decides, hey, I gotta live tomorrow. I gotta come back this fall. So I'm gonna retreat. I'm gonna pull those resources out of the leaves, try and keep that crown of the plant live, try and keep the root system going, and wait till conditions are better.
And we just want to remind everybody again, if you water early.
Water in the morning, yep.
And you told me something last week when we talked, and I was freaking out about my yard.
Sure.
It's going to go dormant.
Yes.
So don't try to keep it green.
No. A lot of people will push it. They'll increase their water. They'll increase that, and they'll force this growth. And they use up all those reserves that your plant's trying to draw back into and hold and store, and you're forcing it to use it up. And there's no benefit to that going forward. You just want to try and keep the plant alive this time of year. There's some special circumstances or high maintenance areas where that's not acceptable, like golf courses and those kinds of things. Those guys do a completely different regimen. But for the average homeowner, just let it go. But don't forget that when you even though it looks dead and brown, it's a watering every now and again when you haven't seen water for a week or more is okay and helpful. It is helpful.
Again, go to heycow.com.
Right.
And you can check the evaporation rates in your area.
Yep, we've got a link to Kansas State's ET weather data, and there's you can just click to the nearest weather station to you. And that's probably the easiest way to know how much did my plant actually lose and what do I replace. Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to feel like my yard.
Yeah, I think we're wilting. Let's go to the AC. What do you think? Sounds good.
Good to see you, Chad.
Thank you.